I'm back! I always say that, don't I? But this time, I'm back with a nice, sparkling, brightling hat, if you know what one of them is, and if you don't, well, don't worry. I'm not here for brightling hats or cat hats, as that guy recently remarked on YouTube, because he worked for them. I'm here about this, and you know straight away that there's something going to be a bit juicy about this one. Because when you flip it up, it says down here, it says signature. You probably can't see, but don't worry, I can. So let's flip the lid and take a look at what we're looking at. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, looks awesome. That's because it is awesome. This is an Ibanez Japanese 7VWH. Oh, just like new. But I've had it since 2000. And I don't like to dent it things, so what we're going to do is we're going to fish it out of the box, take a closer look. What about that? If you don't want to look, sign off now. You could be a drummer. Well, it's out of the box. Let's go and take a closer look. I'll move the camera around so we can get a real good view. What about that? Hang on a minute. Well, let's have a brief view of what we get for the money. Here it is, beautiful thing. 7VWH. Well, straight off you can see it's got this very nice trem on it, which is the standard run-of-the-mill Ibanez Floyd Rose patents licensed copy. They'll have some name for it, but that's the one on this one. And it's gold plated, and you can see even with being used since 2000, there's very little wear on it, which is quite amazing really, bearing in mind the stick this one's had. Not as much as Steve Vai's I might add, which I did actually get to see once, his Evo one. Anyway, you've got a tone and a volume, it's all pretty boring. You've got 5 positions, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, all nice and simple. Well, what you got by way of pickups is this. You've got this DiMarzio Evolution here. It's a great pickup really. Honestly, I've got this in another guitar. I can show you another time. It's a DP159, it's humbucker, ceramic. It's louder, it's aggressive, it's really tight, lots and lots of overtones. And I really like that pickup. This middle pickup, again it's DiMarzio, it's called a DPS1, it's an Evolution pickup. Honestly, I never use it. I think it's crap. But there you go, that's just my view. And then you've got the other one in the neck. This is a DP158. This is like, it's calibrated a bit like this one, but it's fatter, punchier, and it's loud. It's designed for Steve Vai specifically. I think as is this one. But they're very similar, they go as a pair. I'm not too worried about the one in the middle. In fact, if you was to make one of these guitars without the one in the middle, you wouldn't miss it. So there's a bit of a thought for you. Another thing about the Steve Vai guitars is you've always got this monkey grip here. I don't know why. I'm not a monkey. I think they frazzed out like 1972. Should have been a Beatle. No, I don't know. But you have got this, you've also got this lion, what they call a lion's claw cutout. You can see it there. I don't think there's ever been a lion in there, but maybe he's still there. Come back. Maybe he isn't. But anyway, it's there. It's supposed to look good, I think. Watch you go back further with this than you normally would. Not forward, but backward. That's going to be good. Oh, just what I think they call this the edge bridge. Yeah, that's what it is, what they call it, the edge bridge. And the body, that's made of alder, which on the other thing I'll show you a bit later on isn't made of alder. It's made of basswood, basswood. But the other guitar's better than this one, but that's another story. What else can I talk about? Well, you can see that further down the neck here you come onto the vine inlay thing, which is a bit of a Steve Vai thing. It's all very nice, but doesn't play any better. It's got 6105 frets on here, which are nice. They're big, fat and chunky, a bit like me. Well, let's move down to the neck a bit and I'll show you what's involved there. So what I was talking about was this this neck, and the fact that it's rosewood and it's got the nice pretty thing down it. 6105 frets, which are nice. But if you notice carefully at the top here, really carefully, you'll see that these top 4 frets, and it is only the top 4, by the way, have been very strongly grooved out. You can see them. Maybe you can see them in the camera. Let's have a look, see if I can zoom in a bit nearer. Yeah, you can see them at that. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to move along to the headstock, and we'll take a look at what's there, and then we'll have a look at the back of the neck and point out another few things. Well, there it is. It's all par for the course, I suppose. You've got the still got all the golden bits, which don't seem to wear off like some of the cheaper stuff. It's got an Ibanez in gold. It says GEM on it. Funnily enough, it doesn't say 7VWH, but don't worry about that. It is one. You got the, like I say, you got the locking tops here. The hold your strings really solid, but I'll come back to the trem a little bit later on. Just wanted to show you that bit. We'll go and have a look around the back now. Now, taking a look at the back of the headstock, you've got the regular sort of tuners that are on a lot of these things. It does say something on there, made in Japan, fancy that, that's what it says. And the funny thing is, it says that on the neck too. But when you take a really close look at this area, where you've got these 2 bolts that go through the neck, and what they make for, it could be a problem, because actually they weaken the neck somewhat, and you could get it snapping across here, that sort of thing you get. Also, you'll notice, well, I'll show you a little bit further down, if you look carefully, you'll just see there's what they call a scarf joint, where this piece of wood's sort of moulded onto that piece. We'll come back to that. Looking at the serial number, yeah, this one says F98 4023, I think that's an A, and underneath that is the magic bit that says Japan. And they've gone on to make these guitars in other places, such as Korea, and they are not at all of the same build, and that's a fact. I've seen 1 or 2 of them. In fact, I've got a friend who's had one where the body actually split. I've never seen that on any other guitar except a Korean one of these. So there you go. They replaced it, but how bad's that? Well, here's the neck. This is, to me, really what this guitar is all about. It's got width at the nut, 43mm. Width at the last fret, 58mm. Thickness here is 18mm, and at the 12th fret it's 20mm. Importantly, the radius of this is 430mm, and you'll notice on the RG350 series or 550 series that in fact it's 400mm. So there's a difference on the neck, and you can feel the difference too. This is a guitarist's guitar, trust me, and the neck is absolutely awesome. Okay, well, coming back to the back of the guitar, we've got this very nice piece of plastic, call it what they want, but that's what it is. Here's another one. And you can go and twiddle around in there if you want, but I've never done that, don't need to. If you look at the neck mount, it's bolt mount, and it's nicely cut away, by the way, so you can get all the way up the neck. And you know, this is nice and deep around here, so you can get way up those frets. Brilliant design. Once again, it's one of the things that makes this guitar really good. You've got a very deep cutaway here for the fat on your belly. Well, at least the fat on my belly, and that's nice too. It's nice and quite comfortable when you're using the guitar. Okay, let's whiz it back round and talk a bit more about it. By the way, I did call this a vine inlay. It's not a vine inlay. It's supposed to be called a Tree of Life. They want to have a look at the Gibson one, don't they? Well, that's another story. There you go. That was just one of my mistakes. By the way, I've actually got the receipt here from where I bought it all them years ago, and it was £1,350 at the time, less PX and less this and less that. And these guys have all gone now. Academy of Sound is not there. Someone else is. Sound Academy. I fancy that. But there you go. They're all a great bunch. And what can you say about that? Today, these guitars actually cost well over £2,000, I think nearer 2.6 or 2.7, which is ridiculous money for what they are. Well, I guess it's one of the reasons why the top end Ibanezes don't sell so well anymore. Or maybe they do. I just don't see so many. Anyway, sound on this guitar, it's exactly as you can imagine it in my view. It captures the Steve Vai sound, you know the one, exactly as it would be, but without that never-ending sustainer, Steve's Sustainiac, which he has fitted at the factory. You know, there's no Sustainiac on this guitar. You can do it, but you have to bastardise the guitar, and it costs a fortune, so it's not worth doing. I examined the Steve Vai #1 guitar. It had been extensively carved around the back as well to fit it all in there. I never bothered with it because it's just really ruins the guitar unless you just really want to just sustain. It does it anyway. It's a signature guitar as well. The plastic case, it's got its little signature thing across the top. It's one of the things that gives it away really. Well, would I buy another? Well, yes I would. If I need one of these, well, this was irreparable, or if it got stolen or something. It's a great guitar, and you know, it's brilliant for rock. I think that's its real role in life. I wouldn't buy one of the Korean ones, and I definitely wouldn't buy any of those Chinese ones. They are absolutely awful. I've got one thing to show you about that in a moment. So I'd stick with one of these, but I'd be buying it second hand, I think. £2,000 odd for one of these is way too much money. Anyway, what did I like? I like the sound, I like the rock neck. It's very lightweight as well, easy to handle. It's a great case, locking system. Do you know, I can leave this in its case for 3 months sometimes, and get it back out after 3 months and it's still exactly in tune as the day I bought it. It's a great guitar. If I was to give it a score out of 10, I know on the original review on my website I give it 9 out of 10, but I'm afraid these days at £2,600 to £700 this is going to be a 7 out of 10. The thing that takes it down, the pricing is actually unrealistic. Yeah, I wanted to show you one thing that sticks out in my mind. Actually, there's a couple of things that stick out in my mind. When we had one of the Chinese ones, I laughed because it was really that bad. But I'll just talk about it, just while you're there. It was really funny. It cost about £150 or something like that, and looked just the same on the internet. In fact, it was probably one of these that was photographed. But anyway, it got here. If you look at the back of this, you can see how thick that is. As I push it up. In fact, let's put this in. I never talked about that. These have got the usual things on them, and you can replace these, and it tightens up and goes in nice, and you can sort of do a bit of a dive bomb on it. Anyway, you can see how fat that is, can't you? You know, it's real deal, really well made piece of kit. Well, the Chinese one was as thin as cooking foil. And it was silver. Or was it? It might have been gold, but if it was gold, it was rolled in and rolled out again. It was awful, honestly. So anyway, it wasn't like this one, but that wasn't the best bit. We tried to play it. I'm laughing, I know what's coming. Guys, trust me on this. You don't want the Chinese one, right? Let me whiz this around and tell you what happened. Oh, well, you can see that there, can't you? Well, it sort of sits at an angle. This is where your guitar cable goes in, just right in there like that. And you can see where the strap is, can't you? It's all good. It works brilliant on this guitar. Cable's out the way, you run it around the strap and off it goes. It's a composite cable, you know what I mean. We've all been there. Well, the Chinese one was even better. You put the guitar on, you pick your cable up, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. When you got the strap up, when they made this, they made it up here. So when it was up here, when you got the strap on and you tried to put the cable in, you couldn't put the cable in because the strap wouldn't let you. And if you took the strap off and put the cable in, then you couldn't put the strap on. Honestly, it was that bad. Listen, I'm not just saying this. Don't go near the Chinese ones. You just might as well give your money to some charity that's going to use it to stay in business. You know what they're like. When you put this back, oh, fabulous piece of kit. Honestly, really nice guitar. and it's recommended. This absolutely is recommended, but it's not recommended at £2,700 or £2,300, whatever it is these days. It's just nonsense. This is recommended at £1,200 or £1,300, which is what I paid. So you want one like this. You can see there's nothing on it. There's no dents, no nothing, because I look after kit. That's what you should do. And that's what you want, one of these. If you think you play rock guitar, if you haven't played one of these, you don't play rock guitar. Trust me on this. You want one of these. I can't overstress it. But you don't want one of these as much as you want the next guitar I'm going to get, which I'm going to do on a separate video, because I'm like that. I need to count the videos up, you know. You all need to vote on these damn things as well. Help me, dudes. Help me to help you. I don't gain any money from it. I just need the score up there. Help. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed taking a quick look at this. There might be a video after this where it's played. There might not. Don't be surprised if there isn't. I'm like that. I just run out of hours or time, or have a bit of bad health, or whatever it is. I just want to thank you for coming and watching the video. And whiz on over to TonyMckenzie.com, because there's a review of this on there, and it tells you some other things that this video doesn't. See you soon.